Solavei National Training Webinar. My name is Stacy Wallace, and it is my joy to be with you tonight for an exciting topic, actually a brand new topic, brand new release, just took place today, and it's something that we have all been waiting for to see. Certainly it is step one, or what I'll say phase one, in what we call increased visibility. Tonight we are going to talk about the brand new rank tab that is visible there in our back office. Before we do that, I know that we've got a lot of new folks that are piping in tonight for the very first time, and I just want to welcome you. Welcome to Solavei. If you're just taking a look, tonight is actually a training webinar merely designed for our members to be able to gain more information about some of our systems, processes, top business behaviors, things that some of the top rock stars in the company are doing in order to increase their member network. But certainly we know that there are folks listening in, and we want to welcome you and give you a very quick and brief update of what is Solavei. You probably already know. You've probably seen one of our videos. You've heard about Solavei starting a revolution, and you probably thought, what is there such a big revolution about cell phones? Well, that's really not the revolution. The revolution is not where we're starting. It's where we're going that really makes the difference. I've always said to my kids, you know, kids, it's not where you start in life, it's where you end up. And certainly Solavei is beginning the track record with something extraordinary that even over the last 10 weeks, they have broken industry records in the area of mobile development. And Solavei is basically a social commerce network, redesigning, redefining the way we do social media and the way we do mobile. Those two worlds are coming together. From mobile service, we offer unlimited voice, text, and data on a 4G nationwide network partnered with T-Mobile for only $49 a month. What's exciting about that is it's not just the mobile service that we offer, although that is an incredible offering, especially if you look at the unlimited voice, text, and data as compared to other companies that you might see, say, $49 a month, and you see that they throttle it 2 gig or they throttle it 1 gig or sometimes just 100 megabytes. Solavei is doing something different. They're driving down commerce and making it even profitable for their members. And the way they're doing that is through a brand new social graph. You know, social media from Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, and others. That social media right now is the way of communication. We're finding it through Amazon, Target, Chevron, you name it. People are today utilizing social media in order to get their brands heard. The interesting thing about it is they're using social media, but they're not necessarily compensating the people who are doing the social sharing. What Solavei is doing is something a little different. They're saying that not only do we want to provide great services and products at a price where we're driving down commerce, but we want, instead of spending billions of dollars in advertising, we're just going to allow our members to do the sharing, and we're going to compensate them for it. So all of that being held on your mobile device, whether you're using an Android device or an iPhone, you could actually make your phone a profit center with Solavei. By simply sharing Solavei with a few friends, you're going to see how Solavei, for every 3 people, begins to add dollars to what we call your Purple Pay card, which is basically a cash card that we have called the Purple Pay card, or the Solavei cash card. And we're very excited about that because already we're seeing, I believe it's over 90,000 people now in just the last 9 or 10 weeks that have joined Solavei and are enjoying incredible mobile service. But that's not where Solavei is going to end. Of course, the future of Solavei is to add on other goods and services and continue to use the value proposition that we're going to drive down commerce, make it profitable for our members, as well as a commitment to give 50 cents on every dollar back into the member community. We believe that that's going to create a great offering and a great opportunity for our members moving forward. Of course, the future of Solavei, we believe it's bright. When you look at Microsoft, Dell, eBay, Google, any of those companies, when they first got started, I'm sure they started with a value proposition that seemed ordinary maybe, but they became extraordinary revolutions in the marketplace today. Solavei is starting something new in social commerce, and we believe that the day we look back and we'll say, remember in 2012 when it all began, we were there and we helped to get started. And so we want to welcome you tonight for taking a look at Solavei and being a part of what we believe is going to touch a lot of people's lives and make a big difference. Some people, a big difference would be an extra $50 a month. Others, maybe a couple extra $100 a month would really make a difference. Of course, we have a desire not to just create millions of millionaires, or even just a few millionaires. Our heart is, how can we create a reward program that creates millions of thousandaires. An extra $1,000 a month. Think about that. What would that do for you? What would it do for your family? How would that impact your home? It doesn't matter right now whether you're making $20,000 a year or whether you're making $200,000 a year. Everyone could use an extra $1,000 a month for something. Maybe it would be extra diapers. Maybe it would mean that your kid could play on that extra sport or be in ballet. Maybe it would be the difference between private school and public school, or maybe it would pay off those school tuitions and those loans that you've had. Whatever it is, Solavei is about empowering people, and that's why we say Solavei, powered by relationships. Tonight, what I want to show you is something that we believe is going to allow you to create even better connections within the people that you bring into Solavei. We do believe that connection is our most valuable asset, and of course goodwill is where we want to make life better for others. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about our product development and how our social network is growing every single week to help improve these very three core values that we've got. Now, these aren't all of our core values, but they are core tenets: connection, goodwill, and initiative. Of course, initiative is about you being able to go out and do something incredible in this country through capitalism, is being able to go out and build your own business, your own network, and be compensated for it. Not because somebody says this is all you can make, but because there's a compensation plan created that really doesn't have a lid on it. It's unlimited to those who really want to take action and take ownership of their future. And so through these three things, tonight I'm going to talk to you about our actual community and our program development that we've got in the back office, or what we call My Solavei. Now, what I'm going to do here is we're going to make this live and interactive, and I'm just going to pop into here. We've got Laura Wells. Laura, are you still on the line with us?
I am. I'm here.
Okay, excellent. I asked Laura to come on and be our guest this evening, and I had to pick somebody in our network that we could just basically go through and see somebody who is in a development stage of the business and be able to see what's happening right now in her network. And by taking a look at this, we're also going to look at something brand new that was released today. Now, first thing I want to say to Laura is, Laura, you've got messages. You've got people there probably saying, Laura Wells, can I sign up? And will you be my sponsor? So you need to go in there. This is something, interestingly enough, today that we talked about in a meeting that I was involved in today, and it was how many people are actually getting their messages. Now, many of you can see in your one away here, you can go down and let's just see all of these folks here are one away from a trio. So we've got this gal here, and what Laura can do is actually go in there and say, okay, she is one away from her first trio. So what she could do is go in and click on message and send a message to her, or she can go through and connect with her on Facebook. Those two ways that you can connect, basically, that's 41 potential trios that she's only one away from. Well, that would greatly impact her overall payment, so her overall pay that she's going to be getting paid. So that is one thing that, Laura, that you could do is go in there and take a look at all those people. There's 2 pages of them, one away, and just begin to message them. Say, hey, I just want to let you know you're one away from a trio. That would mean an extra $20 a month for you and your family. Want to know how can I help you get that last person to get that trio in. So that's a great tool that Solavei gives you so you can continue to help, again, the connection and the empowerment within your group. The next thing is that personal network. Now, what's great about that personal network is that it shows you everyone that you have personally enrolled and everyone that they have enrolled. Now, remember, your personal network are those first 2 degrees, everyone you know and everyone they know. And your personal network is where you're going to get trio pay. So when you look here and you see personal connections, this person has 2. Well, remember, 3 equals a trio. So here you've got Bob Ginna, and he's got 4, and we could go in there and say Bob just needs 2 more, and he'd get another trio. And, of course, that would increase his overall network as well. Now, the extended network shows you everyone in your network, everyone personally and everyone all in your personal network and your extended network. So that's everyone, and, of course, you can go over here and sort it through alphabetical, most recent, oldest, largest to smallest groups. Got multiple ways that you can connect with your people there. So that's an exciting way to look at that. Now, here's what I'm excited about tonight. is this new tab right here. Now, if I were to go in, Laura, to your dashboard, let's start off there, and we're going to go right back in here. Now, Laura, one thing I can say about Laura Wells is she is a personal recruiter. She is a rock star. Look at her personal network. She has got an amazing personal network. I'm going to scroll down here real quick, and we're going to look right here. You are a social connector 3. That means you are making $1,000 a month in path pay alone. Congratulations, Laura. How's that feel? Good. Well, that's very exciting, but I know that you're not wanting to stop there, and this is what we want to show people tonight is how do I know how many trios I have? How do I know what I need to get to the next position? How does the 40% rule affect me? And tonight, that is what we're going to look at. So we're going to go, there's 2 ways that you can access the rank tab. Is you can either go right here, view rank advancement details, and I could click on it there, or via your network tab, you'll also be able to see it right here. It's the 4th tab there, and we're just going to go ahead and click on it. What's exciting is we're now going to see what did that last screen mean that said she had 33 personal network trios, and we're going to see what that means to her here. Now, we also see here this shows her total connections are 710. Wow, Laura, that is awesome. Congratulations. And we're going to go right down here, and we're going to take a look at what does all that mean to her as she advances. Now, it's important to remember that anything past social partner, remember this first rank band right here, 1, 2, 3, you got a social partner 1, 2, and 3. Anything past this part of the ranking system, that's where the 40% rule. So social connector and above, you want to make sure you watch out for that 40% rule. And the reason for that is 2 things. Number 1, it's to ensure that you don't just go sponsor somebody and quit and never do another thing, don't help anybody, and think that if that person goes out and ends up signing up somebody who signs up somebody who signs up somebody who signs up somebody, and they start making $20,000 a month, that doesn't mean that you're going to be making, and everybody above them makes $20,000 a month. You've got to do more than just go in and get a big whale. And we're going to show you how that works. So you have just come through the entire social connector band, Laura, and you are now moving into social networker. Now, I'm going to let you guys look that up and see what that means financially, but right here she's making just in path pay. Now, that doesn't include trio pay. You guys want to do the math? She's got 33 trios and times $20 a month. So she's making more money even than that $1,000 a month because she's got trio pay. And, of course, she also got her full fat because she went out and got 12 people in her first 60 days. So, Laura, what I've learned about you, Laura, you don't like to leave money on the table. Am I correct?
That may be an understatement, yeah. Hey, if they're going to offer it.
Well, and I love that, and one of the things that we've taught on these webinars and we continue to teach in our networks is personally there's no reason for you to stop. First off, you want to do what you want your team to do. So we believe in leading by example. We don't believe, hey, get in and then just go out and be a trainer. Just go train your people. Tell your people what to do. Instead, what we've said is it's very important for you to lead by example. Be a leader worth following. Every leader should want to have 30 personal network trios, whether you personally do them or whether your team does them. Now, ideally, if you can go out and get things started and start working with your personal network to develop those, that's going to be powerful. Laura, I'm looking at your personal network trios, and you've got 33 here. Explain to me your thought process behind why you would have 33 personal network trios, even though it doesn't take that to be a social networker. Why do you have those personal network trios already built up?
Well, I mean, for me, I mean, honestly, in the very, very beginning, when it was first put out there to try and get, my focus was to get 12. I mean, obviously to complete my SAB, but I'm a big fan of, well, first of all, I have a big mouth, so I'll preface it for there. I can't just stop at 12. I'm kind of telling the world and shouting it from the rooftops, but when I saw 12, immediately I thought of 24, just because to have that cushion, I knew I was going to be sharing it with other people. But you know, for the $1,000 mark, all you need to reach the $1,000 mark is 6 personal trios. Jeremy, my husband, is brilliant when it comes to kind of strategy and math, and he really watches my networks, the numbers. He's a numbers guy. And so when we were talking about that, we just looked at that compensation chart, the little one-page chart where all the little ranks are showing, and we looked all the way down because I'm all in with this. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm happy with the $1,000 mark, and that was my first goal, but that's not where I'm stopping. I'm looking all the way down at the very, very bottom, and Jeremy pointed out that the way to max the compensation plan on this particular line that we have of mine is for your personal network trios to be at 30. So the whole time, it's been a goal of mine to get 30, actually more, just in case people drop out or trios fall apart or something like that. I really want a buffer there, but 30 was my real minimum in the back of my mind going in.
Well, it's interesting because you are not the average person, and I know that the average person, you know, in any kind of direct sales or any kind of sales capacity like this where it's a social sharing, goes out and gets 1 or 2, right? And what I love about Laura is that she is breaking the mold on normal, in that she's not thinking, well, I wonder if I can get my cell phone free. I'm just going to kind of do this. She's saying, no, if there's a company over here laying money on the table, free money, and all I have to do is expense effort, then I'm going to put the effort forth to get the money for my family. And so what she did is she immediately looked all through those rank bands, and I encourage you, if you don't have this, you can go to the support community and you can download the compensation plan one sheet, and you can see the overall path pay. It's kind of like a chart, and it tells you exactly what you need in total trios and personal network trios in order to rank through this rank band. Obviously, right here is what she's talking about, to look all the way down, and she wants to get here. So she's not willing and she's not happy to stop here. She wants to go all the way. So she sees the finish line here for that particular business to be right there. And then I'm sure she's probably going to do it again and do it again and do it again, because there's no limit to how many businesses that you can have. So what we want to look at here is, what will it take then for Laura to become a social networker 1? So here's 1, 2, and 3. So no matter where you're at currently in your plan, you may be here as a social partner 3, and you may be wanting to get to that next social connector 1. No matter where you're at, you want to look, and you're going to look right down here. You are currently projected to have 62 trios, total trios, meaning in your overall network. Now, this is where anybody that's above a social connector, you want to look here. Qualified trios that are in that group based on the 40% rule. Well, ironically enough, Laura's probably not the best example here, because Laura has actually got 62 out of 62 trios that qualify, and so she's going to get paid out of all 62 of those, meaning she has perfectly built her organization. We're going to look down here what that means in just a second, and I'm going to show you an example of a different person who is going to need to do a little more work. So let's look at this here. She's got 62 total trios in her network, and she doesn't have to worry about any breakage. She doesn't have to worry about anything not getting credit for those, because she has really balanced herself out. What she needs to become a social networker are 100 total trios. So she's got 62. She needs 100. 100 minus 62 is 38. So Laura needs to go out, in order to become a social networker, she needs to go out and get 38 trios, and that's going to really be able to bump her up in that next rank band. So let's look down here, and we're going to see how this builds out for Laura. Now you'll see this is Laura's kind of big fish right here, Mike, and Mike's already gone out and he's already gotten 17 trios. Well, if she only had Mike and a bunch of zeros, well, then she would definitely be hit with that 40% rule. But what she's done, because she's gone out and she's personally sponsored people into Solavei, you'll see that she is well balanced all throughout her network, balancing it out. So whatever the path pay says, she's getting it. So she's not having to worry about, well, what, my goodness, it says I've got such and such trios, but I'm not getting paid on those. She has built this out smart. Now, let me show you Another example, let me just go in here and we're going to log into an account of another person we've got. Oops, that's making me go into Laura Wells. Laura, I'm going to pop out of yours because it's not letting me go into two at one time. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to do it in this account here so that we can have both of them open at the same time. This is not a commercial for GoToMeeting, but we're going to pop up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into another account here so that we can see someone who may not have it balanced perfectly like our star pupil has here. And let's get this one signed in. Okay, so here's someone who has 2 personal network trios and 85 total trios. So what does that tell us? Okay, this is somebody who's a social partner 3. Let's go ahead and go into their network. They also have a message, FYI. And we're going to go into their network, and we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to see, let's go to rank band. Okay, they are a social partner 3. So what we want to look here is, what does it take for them to go to social partner, to social connector 1. So they've got some work to do. They have got 717 people in their network. But remember, we're going to scroll down here and we're going to see what is it going to take for them to actually be able to move up. So just because they've got big numbers here doesn't mean necessarily that they're going to just quickly go up the scale. They've got to make sure that they are not just riding off the volume of a big fish. What does that mean? Well, they've got total trios of 85. Personally, though, they've only got 2 in their personal network trios. Now, what they need in order to get to their next rank, which is Social Connector 1, they need a total of 4 personal network trios. So even though they have 85 in their overall network, they still have to get 2 more in their personal network. What this tells me, this is somebody that has a runaway line coming out of their network. They've got somebody in their network that's just doing really, really well, and they need to, instead of just working with that one person, they need to make sure that they work with multiple people. So what we want to do here is we want to look and say, what is it that this person can do? Well, they've got 85 total trios, and only 6 of those qualify because of the 40% rule. Now remember, the 40% rule says that you cannot have more than 40% of your volume or your requirements coming from any one network as it relates to the next qualification you're trying to reach for. So she's trying to reach he's trying to reach Social Connector 1. Social Connector 1 says that you have to have 12 total trios and 4 personal network trios. Now remember, 12 personal trios right here and 4 total network trios. So he's got, in other words, he's got 85, 6, and why he says he's only getting 6 is because he has got to balance out his network. Let me scroll down and show you what that means. Come right down here. Here we go. He has got one person that is kind of a runaway. They've got 83 total network trios, but he's got no one else in here that's got trios. That means that he has got to go out and begin to develop more than just this person. So when he goes to look at his rank, and he might say, well, wait a minute, I got 85 trios. Well, he really doesn't have 85 trios. This person has 85 trios. And I bet if we drill down into that, they might even have somebody that's a runaway too, because you probably want to look into their network to see where are those trios coming from. And you can do that based upon when you're looking at that personal. Okay, so let's just look at that right there. Let's look here. I think I just saw something. Okay, 0 personal network trios. That means somebody beneath that person has got volume. So what this person, Mr. Sutton, needs to do is he needs to go out and begin to develop other people. He needs to go out and talk to some people at Walmart, and maybe he wants to start some kind of campaign, or maybe he just wants to just go take a cab and talk to a cab driver. However you build your business, that's up to you. But definitely right now, Mr. Sutton wants to go out and do some more personal network trios so that he can not only get what he needs, but also begin to develop some other people besides this one. So again, we're going to go back here in just a second, and we're going to look at Laura, who's like the star pupil here, and see how she's built it out. She didn't just put one person in and think, oh, well, that's enough. That's going to take me all the way up the scale. No, you've got to continue. Now, why do we do that? Well, first off, imagine if you are somebody that, let's say this person sponsored 4 people, and the other 3 people just, they're waiting for help. But Mr. Sutton, let's say he sees this person here and says, wow, that's a rock star. I'm going to work with that group, and just works with that group. That really wouldn't be fair to those other people. And what this 40% rule does is it ensures that an upline doesn't just work with rock stars. So if you're somebody who's saying, I don't understand why I'm not getting help, you know what? You need to go and you need to say to them, I want to be a rock star for you. I want to work and I want to develop trios, and I know it's going to help you. No matter what, it's going to help you. So you can begin to see how you want to make sure you're developing more. Now I'm going to more than one person in this. I'm going to pop out of that and go back to Laura's. Now Laura is the complete opposite. Laura has gone out and she has developed her personal network trios, everyone she knows and everyone they know. She has made sure that she goes in and that she works with them in order to make sure that she's balanced out. Now that network tab, let me see if I can still get back in here to her network, or we might have timed out. It looks like we've timed out. So what you want to look at when you're looking at this, oh no, there we go. Again, we're going to go back into that network tab. You want to make sure when you're going through this that you're looking at the numbers. You're looking at here's what you have. It's your next pay cycle. This is what you would have. But this is what you're going to get paid on. Okay, so for Laura, it happens to be perfect. But if this was a high number, again, let's go back. This is what you have. This is what you're going to get paid on. So based on 6 qualified trios in the total network and based on 2 in the personal network, that would mean that this person is a social partner 2 trying to become a social partner 3. Okay, and in order to do that, they need to actually have 12. Okay, so you can see how that's going to rank out. Okay, for Laura, we're going to look at hers. 62 is what she's got. 62 is what she's getting paid on. 62, if you look at the chart, I've got one sitting right here in front of me. At 62, that tells me that she is in between Social Connector 3 and Social Connector 4. You can see that she needs 38, to Social Networker, she needs 38 trios. And look here, it doesn't matter where those trios come from. She has already fulfilled her personal network requirements because she decided to take massive action. She never has to worry about this second qualification as long as these people just stay on mobile service with Solavei. All she has to look at is now, how can I work with my entire network? How can I just reach down and help people and develop them? And she can just really begin to develop her organization. There's a lot of folks that missed Hawaii because of this right here, because they never did this personal network development. And it's very important that everyone, and we've trained it over and over and over again, develop your personal network. That doesn't mean that you stop helping everyone else. It means that you don't ever stop personally enrolling until you reach that mile marker. And even then, you're going to keep enrolling. You're going to want to always do that. It's going to increase your trio pay, and it's also going to be great leadership that you take one of those requirements, wipe them out, so that you can then go up. Now, I know a lot of people say, I'm going to do that by rank. I'm not going to do it like Laura. I'm not going to go for 30. I'm going to go for maybe the next rank Laura would have been for social networker. It would have been 8 in her personal network. Well, I'm going to work till I get 8 personal network trios, and then I'm going to really focus on my team. How you push-pull. You guys remember that training. Push as hard as you can to get your next qualification, turn around and pull. Laura is doing what I would call all-out massive, I think they say on P90X or whatever that is, insanity. All-out massive actions happened to be what I did. I took massive action because I didn't want to take a chance on this thing going viral and me not have my personal network trios. And so very important for everybody, look at what your next rank is. Look what the qualification is personally, and don't sit back and go, well, I'm going to wait for my team to do it. That is not leadership. Leadership does and before it asks. So do what you want your team to do before you ask them to do it. Go out and be a leader by example.
Can I throw something in really quick?
Absolutely.
The other thing about the way we've kind of balanced everything out is, I guess it was that sense of, I had a gut feeling that that it would grow and kind of snowball and have kind of a compound effect. That, if you look up there at the numbers, on this account, I've personally sponsored whatever it was, 24 people, and those 24 people have turned in over 700. I had a feeling that would happen, and the larger that number gets, the faster it grows. And I was talking to another Solavei member last week, and this happened to him, and he's working through it right now, and it made me nervous that would happen to me, and it's actually happening to him in that his personal network is not at 30 yet, not at 30 trios yet, but he has about 2,000 or 3,000 members in his overall network. He's got like 500 trios. He's up there, but because his personal network isn't where it needs to be to kind of match, to kind of balance that out, literally every single payday there's money on the table. And he's not being paid because his personal network trios don't match what they should be on that band. So, that one little sheet of paper, that compensation one-pager where it shows all the different levels, I really encourage, if you're in Solavei and you want it to be an income-producing business for you, and some people don't, and that's totally fine, but if you do, print that second half off where it shows all the little levels, and just keep it handy and just watch. You've got to watch your network numbers to be able to match. And honestly, it motivated me to get to that 30 and work with my people and reach down to their people 4 and 5 and 6 levels down, because if I build them up, it's going to naturally and organically build me up. And so it's worth it to reach all the way down there.
So here's a great call to action before we close the call. Here's what I want you to do. And Laura, if you could see, I wish there's a way I could show you guys, to show you what my little, I don't have that thing memorized, to be honest with you. I'm lucky if I find my keys when I need to leave out the front door. I have this tattered and torn little piece of paper that has that same, the Path Pay chart on it. I use it all the time, just like Laura said, because the minute somebody calls me and says, Stacey, I'm trying to become maybe a social network or a social director, whatever it is, I look at that, I ask them, what are your personal network trios? They tell me. Now I can ask them how many of those trios are qualified based on the 40% rule. They can tell me, and I can say, okay, here's what you need to do. Now, I really don't even need that piece of paper, because I can just go right here to this and go, you need 38 trios, but you're doing great on your personal. So what you need to do is look down. I wouldn't be looking down into Mike's group. I'd be looking down into here in these groups, Laura, and I would be saying, because Mike is your biggest, strongest, baddest runaway dude. I'd be looking down here going, who in this group can I work with that's going to be able to produce those other 38 trios? And you want to make sure, you might give a call to Faye and say, hey, Faye, you know what? I want to work with you. I'm excited. I'm pushing towards becoming a social networker, and I need to find 3 rock stars. I'd love to work with you. Do you want to be one of my rock stars? Because I need to find somebody that I can increase. In order for me to do this, I need to help a few people. Zig Ziglar said you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. Well, what's exciting is when Laura hits her personal qualifications, which she already has, she didn't have to worry about herself anymore. She's already done what she needs to do. That's the power of the push. Push to yourself. So here's your challenge. Identify on that chart, where do you want to be? You know, Laura said, I want to be at the top of the chart. I want to be right here. I'm not going to settle for anything less than that. So she made it her goal. I'm going to do everything I can do in the next 30, 60, 90 days, all-out massive action to get my 30 personal network trios completed. So if you say, you know, I'm not looking, I don't even have to think, I don't even want to make $20,000 a month. I'm happy if I can make an extra $2,000 a month. I'm happy with that. So that would be social connector. I'm social networker 1. Well, you want to look at Social Networker 1 and say, what do I need to do to be Social Networker 1? You need 8 personal network trios. So if you've got 2 right now, yes, those people can help you get to that 8. But if I were you, I would go out there and say, what do I need to do to find 6 more? If you have 2 and you needed 8, that would be 6 that you would need. That would be 18 people. I'd go get you a little pie chart, and I'd start coloring it off every time you find someone, and I'd go out and make a goal, make it fun. Maybe you like cupcakes, so get yourself 6 cupcakes, and every time you knock off a cupcake, at the end of it, reward yourself with a cupcake. If you're right brain, that might be what you do. If you're left brain, maybe you want to get a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet. However you need to do it, this is a great way for you to bring additional income into your family, but it's not going to just fall into your lap. Remember, the third part of our core tenets is initiative. So we encourage you to do that, and so I want to encourage you. Here's your takeaway. I want everybody to look at, what do I need to do to get to the rank of my dreams? If the rank of your dreams is social network, extra $2,000 a month, that was my mom's. She wanted $2,000 a month. So I said, then you need to have a minimum of 8 personal network trios. That would be, what would that be? That would be 24 people that she would need. Well, you know what she did in her first, before we even launched in her lane, she put 31 people in. And then when we flipped over, she quickly went to that. Now, she has the personal network she needs to make this much, but really all she was looking to was make $2,000 a month. Last week you heard, in this week's Team Huddle call, you heard that she's already making $3,000 a month just in path pay. That doesn't include all of her trio pay, and she's shooting towards this next one now. So you may only set a goal to be social networker and go, wait a minute, that was my goal. I never dreamed I'd make more than $2,000 a month. And then all of a sudden you realize, I don't have to stop, because like Laura said, it can begin to snowball. So I really encourage that. Now tonight I just want to make sure you know that I'm not making any promises of income or claims that you're going to make this or that it's even easy. What Laura has done is it's simple, but it's not easy. Laura's passionate. She is very, very dedicated to bringing funds in for her family. She wants to be a contributor to her family. She is, like she said, she's a talker. She's found a way to use something she absolutely loves to do and to monetize it. She loves people. She loves connecting. She loves talking, and she's monetizing that. You might think about yourself, what do you love to do? Do you love sewing? Well, then go get in a sewing group. I promise you, those people that are sewing, they carry phones. And while you're in there enjoying what you love to do, connect with them, talk to them, tell them about it. Maybe it's just because you want to get more sewing material, or maybe you're looking for some more needles, and that's the way to pay for it. Whatever you have to do to make it your motivator, look at that chart. Identify where do you want to be. Then identify what is it going to take for you to get there. If the total required trios to get there is 8 in your personal network, that's what you want to shoot. Don't even worry about this yet. Shoot towards your personal network. Watch how this evolves. As you get here, this begins to evolve, because if you're passionate about doing that, guess what? Usually leaders duplicate themselves, and eventually you'll find some people that not only do what you do, but they go beyond what you do. So that's your challenge for this week. Identify where you want to be in the rank band, and then, in fact, let's look at this real quick. I'm going to go in here and see if we can find, Laura, you might help me out with where I can find that out as quickly as possible.
Compensation for resources. Yeah.
Oh, is it in member resources? There it is. Compensation plan overview. There it is. Okay, so go in there, and you're going to be able to scroll down and look at what we're talking about when we talk about that one sheet. It's right here. Oops, I got to go to the second page. There we go. And you just take a look there, and you identify where do you want to be. So if you say, man, Stacey, I want to be where Laura's getting ready to head, is social networker. And you may say, Stacey, that's where I want to be. That's what you want to look at. You want 8 personal trips. So this row right here becomes your friend. Okay? If you say, Stacey, I really an extra $5,000 a month would totally change my family's life. Well, you might look right here and say 14 personal network trios. That's what you're going to shoot for. And yes, you can do it with a team, but I would, in your mind, think if it's to be, it's up to me. 14 times 3 is, what, 42? And think, okay, well, how long is it going to take me to talk to 42 people? If you have that mindset, Because those 42 people are also all going to be doing their own work, but don't even rely on other people. Remember, if you set a goal for yourself and say, you know what, in the next year, I want to be able to talk to 42 people. What would that be? Well, 365 days out of the year. Or maybe you look at how many you need to do a month. Chunk it backwards. What would that be for you to actually hit it? If it's 50 some odd weeks in a year, then you might need to talk about doing one a week. And if you set that as a goal, you're going to identify to sponsor one person a week in the course of the year. Just keep doing that personally, because those are going to be personal, direct trios. They would all start to form into trios. You begin to look at that, and what would be amazing in a year. Could you give yourself a year to make an extra $5,000 a month? I don't know many people that are going to get a $5,000 bonus this year at Christmas. I don't know how many people are going to be able to bump their salary by $5,000. If you can make your plan realistic, you can begin to see how Solavei truly can become rewarding. They've laid it out there and made it possible. Now it's up to you to make it probable. Laura, I really appreciate you being a part tonight. And for sharing your numbers with us. I know that's very personal, but I know you're wanting to help a lot of folks, and we really, really are grateful for that. Everyone, I am going to sign off right now, and just want you all to know that we are so grateful. Thank you for spending your time with us on Thursday nights and on Monday nights. I'm going to pop back over here so you can see our complete call schedule and tap into those as well, and we will certainly be able to see you next Monday on our Team Huddle webinar. I do know that there are some more releases that are coming out, and Monday is going to be very important. I've got Rudy Barcelo that's going to be on that call with me to go through all of the new releases that are going to be hitting tomorrow and throughout the weekend that they are updating with the corporate team. Pretty exciting, you guys, what's coming up on the next couple of weeks. And you certainly want to tap into all these webinars and make sure you can get it firsthand so you can go back out and train your people. So be sure to be there Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And for those of you who are elsewhere in the world, you're going to need to figure that out because I can't do it for you. So we appreciate you being here tonight. Again, everyone, now is the time. This is the place, and you are the ones to start the revolution. We are believing the best for you. Good night, everyone.